Well, personally, this event, um, it just means that we're honoring those who have served this country to give us our freedom, and for people who are still serving. I'm a Union Bridge Lions member. I'm president, and we took on this project to help build this Wreaths Across America, to make the community more aware, and to help it grow. It was started 5 years ago by Donna Babylon of Babylon Vault Company. She actually wanted to do it for Carroll County. 5 years ago, she had 7 cemeteries, and they laid about 800, a little more than 800 wreaths. 5 years later, we're doing 38 cemeteries, and we're laying over 1,800 wreaths today. It has really grown just in 2 years. I did it last year, was my first year, and of course I was a nervous wreck. I just wanted to make sure everything was perfect, but they told me, look, it's going to be good no matter what you do. You're going to be fine. Just do what you need to do. And it really has grown. I hope that we have a crowd up here today. We had a crowd last year. It helps to bring organizations together. Frankie's Bar and Grill, which is where we meet, they've had a big impact on this Wreaths Across America. They raise money. They do fundraisers all the time for us. Um, we did a veterans dinner on Thanksgiving. We fed over 64 shut-in veterans for Thanksgiving, made them dinner and delivered it to their houses. So they're a big supporter, and I think it just helps bring people together. The biggest memory is just seeing how much it means to people. When you do this ceremony, it really touches you in a special way, and I think it touches everybody in that way. Um, so my memory is I want to continue to do this as long as I can, because it's an important thing to me. It's very important. My uncle was the only one in my family that served in the service, so I don't have any immediate family, but it still means a lot to me. And I hope that, it means a lot to everyone. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming. My name is Charlene Johns. I'm your Master of Ceremonies for Babylon Vault Company and Wreaths Across America. I'd like to welcome Jeff Wolford. He is a retired Air Force pilot. He's going to be speaking to us today. And I'd like to thank the Union Bridge Lions and also the friends and owners of Frankie's Bar and Grill. Okay, I'm going to get started. Thank you for joining us here today on National Wreaths Across America Day as we celebrate the mission to remember the fallen, honor those that serve and their families, and teach the next generation the value of freedom. Babylon Vault Company is proud to be the organizer of this event for the 5th straight year, where we have 38 approved cemeteries within the county, honoring over 3,200 veterans this year. Babylon Vault Company was established 92 years ago by lifetime New Windsor resident Graham Babylon and his father, Guy Babylon. Graham was a veteran of the Navy. He lost his only brother at sea during World War II. Babylon Vault has a long-time tradition of honoring our veterans. We are humbled by the patriotism within this wonderful community, allowing us to gather shoulder to shoulder as we honor our hometown veteran. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember the prisoners of war and those missing in action, and honor those who have served and are serving this great nation of armed services. Thank you. I'd like to have the color guard advance, please. And present the colors. Graham, you're on the left beside Hayden. Thank you. All right, I'd like to have Nathan Brown please come forward. He's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nathan. Okay. All right, at this time, I'd like to have Don Ebal come forward. He is going to sing the national anthem for us.
Would everyone please remove their headgear? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
This year, across the country, at more than 3,600 participating locations like this one nationwide, plus 26 American cemeteries overseas, there are over 2 million Americans gathering together as one nation to place over 2.5 million wreaths on the headstone of our fallen across the country. Thank you for playing such an important role in sharing the mission to remember, honor, and teach within our community. The United States of America was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shining beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free, and we shall not forget you. We shall remember. We are all proud to be Americans that live in a free society made up of many people and many walks of life. The freedoms we enjoy today have not come without a price. Lying here before us and in the cemeteries throughout this nation are men and women who gave their lives so that we can live in freedom and without fear. We can worship as we see fit. We can raise our children to believe as we do. We are free to vote for the leaders of our choosing, and we have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavor we wish to pursue. Today, more than ever, we reflect on our nation's veterans and active duty service members who have had and continue to fight to protect this great country. This nation has always been the first to stand up for the freedom of people from around the world. Many of you here today have answered that call and serve your country well. We thank you, and we are honored to know you. To our men and women currently serving today, here at home and in places far away, we thank you. You are part of the best trained, best equipped force in the world. We honor you and your families for the sacrifices you make each day to keep our country safe from terrorism, hatred, and injustice. Quoting our 40th United States President, Ronald Reagan, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in our bloodstream. It must be fought for and handed on for them to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. Today we show a united front of gratitude and respect across the United States of America as we remember the fallen, honor those who serve and their families, and teach the next generation the value of freedom. We're going to lay the ceremonial wreaths now. When I call your name, you can please step forward and place your wreath on the hanger. Dennis Weeks will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Army. Andy Green will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Marine Corps. I don't know how to say your last name, Andy. I'm sorry. Alex Weidler will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Navy. Jeff Wolford will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Air Force. Michael Barclay will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Coast Guard. Johnny Seibel will lay a veteran's wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Merchant Marines. Richard Beach will lay a veteran's wreath in honor of those who are serving in the United States Space Force. Rick Johns Jr. will lay a veteran's wreath in honor of the 93,129 United States servicemen from all branches of the service whose last known status was either prisoners of war or missing in action. These individuals have never been returned to their families and homes. According to the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency, there are 807 Marylanders unaccounted for. We shall not forget you. Thank you. You guys can return to the crowd. We have volunteers here today who is going to lay a wreath on the veteran's grave. I'm going to call out the veteran's name, ring the bell. If you can come forward, your wreath is at the entrance to the cemetery. Take the wreath to the grave site and thank them for their service. If you volunteered to do this, you can come forward. Okay, Rick John Sr. is going to lay a wreath for Charles Bale. Okay, Dwayne Dyson is going to lay a wreath in honor of John Clayfish. Tyler is going to lay a wreath in memory of Henry Townsend. Rose Wright is going to lay a wreath in memory of David Nussbaum. Okay, Frank Windsor is going to lay a wreath in memory of Albert Bloom. Betty Windsor is going to lay a wreath in memory of William Preston Bloom. Ashley and Isabel is going to lay a wreath in memory of Joseph Haynes. And John Finn is going to lay a wreath in memory of Carol Lee Embry. Thank you all very much. Remember, we're not here today to decorate graves, but we are here to remember not their deaths, but their lives. Each wreath is a gift of appreciation from a grateful America. As a nation standing together, we can defeat terrorism, hatred, and injustice. thanks to our veterans and active duty service members, we have the freedom to do just that. Now I'd like to introduce Jeff again. Jeff Wolford is a retired Air Force pilot, and he's going to say a few words today.
Okay. Thank you. And yes, while it looks like retirement might be a definite event in your life, they can pull you out of retirement, which is what happened to me. So one of the things you'll find out in life is if you do something reasonably well, they call you again. So thank you for the opportunity to come out and speak with the folks in New Windsor today. And it's interesting for me, both Betty and Frank, I've never had the opportunity to work with someone that has a town named after them. So I'm quite impressed. So each year, millions of Americans come together to have remembrance ceremonies like the one that we're having here today, and it's quite an honor to be here. And the focus, as you've heard, is already past, present, and future. The goal with the Wreaths Across America is to remember the fallen, honor those that serve as well as their families, who serve just as much as that service member, and then teach the next generation about the values of freedom. Last year in 2021, more than 2.4 million veterans wreaths were placed all throughout our great nation at 3,000 locations. This year, it's 100,000 more as this ceremony continues to grow throughout our country. And not just that, it's not just remembrance, but it's remembrance with their names being read aloud as we've done today. Nearly 257,000 sponsored wreaths are being laid across our great nation today and beyond in cemeteries throughout the world at every eligible marker. And just to our south in Arlington National Cemetery, we are going to honor the 8 here so that they not be forgotten. Now, we talked about Charles and John and Henry and David, all from the Civil War era, and then Albert, William, and Joseph through World War I, and Carroll through World War II. But as we stand here today, that legacy of service goes on. And even beyond us, when our time on earth is done, there will be those who continue to serve and protect what is the idea and the dream of America. I want to step back for a second and talk about the wreath. Why the wreath? Yes, if you look at Roman history, it's a great laurel of achievement and accomplishment that was placed on someone's head. But we've adopted that and we've given it our own meaning. A meaning that represents the beauty and brevity of our lives. Why is it circular? Because it represents eternity, our purpose. And why are they evergreen branches? Well, it's because they're sturdy and everlasting. So this year, Wreaths Across America decided that their service mantra would be, find a way to serve. It's a call for all of us to continue to serve, not just reflect on those that have gone before us. Behind me, these 8 veterans represent 84 years of service from the beginning of the Civil War to the end of World War II. Most certainly, when they passed away, their cause did not die with them. Some killed in action in the field of battle, and some that got to live out the remainder of their natural life. Their cause was the cause of freedom, and there can be no better, greater tribute to their service and sacrifice than to turn to their remembrance into a recommitment to their cause, a recommitment to our nation, and most importantly, a recommitment to one another. In 1931, James Adams coined the term the American dream, saying that life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability and achievement. The dream that is America is not yet fully realized, and we know that, but we get closer every single day. As President Lincoln, not far from here, once challenged us just a few miles north in Gettysburg, it is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to their unfinished work. Their work, our work, is not done. Our nation's story is still being written, but not by words, but by our deeds. It's not what we say, we all know that. It's how we serve one another that will preserve the blessings of liberty for generations to come. So in memory of Charles and John, Henry, David, Albert, Joseph, William, and Carroll, may you continue to rest in peace, knowing that we, the living, the benefactors of your service, have not forgotten you, that we promise to rekindle the flame that President Lincoln called the last best hope of democracy on earth. Godspeed, and God bless to each of you throughout this holiday season. Thank you.
All right. Well, this concludes our ceremony, but we want to thank everyone for coming out today. Especially want to thank Jeff, our speaker, our color guard, Wyatt, Hayden, and Graham Johns, and also our vocalist, Don Ebal. To everyone who sponsored a wreath, a huge thank you. It is through your sponsorship that we are able to honor every veteran here today. Join us again next year as we continue to expand to additional cemeteries. We wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you would please remain where you are till we retire the colors and we also play taps. Thank you. Thank you very much.